Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy. I'm getting ready to start on a sewing journal that I'm going to call Sew Special Journal. And I decided to do some special projects that will go inside this journal. And the first thing I want to do is prepare a masterboard, which I will then cut a collage, and then I will cut it into tags and journal cards. And so I wanted my first tutorial to be the creation of this masterboard. And what I'm going to do is use parts from this old pattern that my mother gave me to add to my stash, and also items out of this box of scraps. So I'm going to start just getting the pieces ready, and then I'll come back and start to glue some things on and show you how I do this. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and I have gone through my box of scraps and the pattern and have cut out and gathered lots of scraps. I'll show you some like this. I kind of ripped some things into strips, some things into squares, shapes. We'll use all different shapes. What I will do is start out by putting some strips on, and when I do that, I'm gonna try to leave some of these items that are printed on this page so they can still be seen. On the back side is a neutral pattern so that the back of the tags and journal cards can be written on. And this is a sample of something I had done before, where I took a background paper. This green patterned paper was the background, and I just glued hodgepodge all these things on there and then cut it into strips for tags, or in 3x4 size for journal cards. So let's get started on this, and I'll try to explain what I'm doing. The first thing I want to do is apply some of these strips, and I have taken strips from the instructions that were in that pattern, which has a nice aged look to the paper. And I will, off to the side here, use my glue stick. This is what I use, Scotch permanent glue stick. Works well. And I will get started on gluing these items on. So I'll flip this over, and I know I'm probably off camera, but that's okay. I'm just gluing. I just run this glue on the back, and then bring this over and apply the strip. Nothing that I'm doing has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It doesn't have to go all the way to the ends. It just can be put on any way that you want to put it on. So I will do some of these strips that I've prepared. And like this is a little wide, so I'm going to rip it. This is actually a strip from a collage that I did before. I'm going to see if I can rip this in half and use it on here too. I tried to pick items that had similar colors or were of a vintage look. Here's another piece of our patterned instructions. Here's a piece of lace from some papers that I had. It's actually cardstock, but that won't matter. This piece on the background here is double-sided cardstock. And it's from the Stamperia Romantic Threads packet, which is part of what I'm going to be using for this project. I have printed out a couple of different pattern digital kits, pieces and parts of them, and then this, I purchased this Stamperia Romantic Threads. So I'll be combining everything into this project. And I'm using this kind of ruler because it's easy to lay down on your paper and rip. With kind of a sharp edge. These, whenever you're making your different journals and things, if you save all your little scraps of paper in a package of some kind, then when you want to do something like this, all you have to do is pull it out and just start using out of it. After I get all the little strips on here that I want, then I'll start using some other shapes. think that's probably enough uh, strips back and forth. So let's see about some other kind of shapes. I found this rose, which I thought was really pretty. So we'll put this in a spot. I put it right in there. I'm going to use a piece of this doily. It's a paper doily. Somewhere on here. I got glue on my fingers so everything's sticking. Use a couple more pieces of the doily. Just a couple of little pretty pieces. These come in a little pad of papers that you can order off of Amazon. They're thin on vellum kind of material. These two seem to match what we're doing here, so I'm going to place them on here somewhere. Okay. Now, I just had an idea. This is a sewing journal. I think I'm going to use some of my little fashion ladies on these tags. And what you want to do when you add on anything like this is kind of have a plan for where you're going to slice your tags. I think I'm going to do 2-inch tags. So if I'm going to cut this every 2 inches, I want to place my little ladies so that they are somewhere within the tag. So it'll be 2 inches by 6. So I don't want to put them down any lower than this. And I want them to be every couple of inches. So let me just put some glue on one and I'll show you what I mean. I won't put these on every one, I'll just put them on a few, because we'll want to use some other items on these tags. Once we get them cut out, we'll decorate them some more. So let me do one more. I'll do a small one. And we'll do one more small one. Now these could be colored if you want them to be. I think I'm just going to leave them plain. Okay, I think that's going to do for us. And what I'm going to do is cut out 6-inch long tags. So that'll be to here. And there will be 6 of them, because I'm going to do one every 2 inches. And then on the bottom, I will do let's see. I'll do 3-inch by 4-inch journal cards. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, slice that with my paper cutter, and I'll come back on camera and show you. Okay, I'm back from taking the paper cutter and slicing up my tags and journal cards. What I did was cut the 12 by 12 paper in half crossways, and then in 2-inch slices from the top half, and then I took the bottom half, cut it in half lengthwise, and then cut 4 inches for each of these journal cards. So I have 6 tags and 6 journal cards. I'll just show them to you right quick. What I did was on the tags, I have a template that I use for the tags just so I get both sides even. I just put that on the tag and cut each side, and then took my hole punch and punched a hole in the top. I've inked around everything, the edges. So I'll show you each of the tags and the journal cards. And what we'll do is we'll put these aside, and then as I go through the journal, we'll decorate these as we go, or maybe even ahead of time, and have them ready. I haven't decided quite yet, but this gives us a nice selection of collaged tags to use. We'll add words and ribbons and laces and other ephemera on there to accent the tags and journal cards. So this is the first one. This is what the back side looks like. This is one that had the doily on there and the little girl. Some of the instructions from our pattern that we're going to use in the journal. This one has some of the instructions and one of those pieces of ephemera that I said came in the little stack. You can still see in the background some buttons and parts of the sewing machine and thread in the background on these tags. This one here has a nice background picture of the spool of thread and some directions. So each one is different. This one has the smaller girl on there, and some thread and buttons in the background. Some of our doily. That's our 6 tags, and then these are the journal cards. Beautiful matching of our colors and vintage items, lace, sewing machine. That's our beautiful rose that I had cut that off of a greeting card. Some instructions that tell how to do a tailor's tack, and the word happy off of some piece of paper. Happy on this one also. Some threads, bobbin. This one has a safety pin and a dress form. So these will make the nicest tags and unique to our journal. Yours will be different from mine. Everyone's will be different, and you will be able to express your own style through this journal. This can be used on any journal. Just pick your background paper from a 12 by 12 cardstock, double-sided with plainer side on the back, and use out of your stash of papers that you have little pieces and parts of, and put together your unique journal cards and tags. So I hope you've enjoyed this. These will go into our Sew Special Journal, and this is the first tutorial, which showed you how to do the masterboard and cut it into journal cards and tags. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, every day is a gift. Always look for the joy in each day and share it with everyone you meet along the way. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.